it seems like a disservice to our youth to teach children how to pass tests, rather than the way that your approach goes about teaching is very hands-on. I can't remember, but you have a package which gives you, like, here's the taxes, here are the contracts.
Yep.
Here's your sales. It's like an entire package. It's like $1,000 or something. I remember. But it's kind of like, learn hands-on while you're taking action at the same time. And, I don't mean to come here and just just sell everyone on your course or anything, necessarily, but I took years and years and years of Spanish. I didn't learn anything. I could not speak any Spanish. 2 months in a kitchen, I was speaking Spanish, baby. Yo comprendo. Yeah. I mean, they make fun of me a little bit, but
if I knew more Spanish, I'd jump in, but I'm not going to.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think it's completely underrated. I'm kind of curious, like, where do you see the future of education going? Do you see more content creators like yourself releasing more content? Like, where's the future of communication going?
You're opening up a can of worms, and I'm happy to take a spoonful here. The educational model that we have here in the United States is a very efficient one for banks to make money. Let me just unpack that a little bit, because what did he just say? I believe many schools are the front house or front of house for loaning institutions, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's one of these very rare industries or businesses where they will give just about anybody a low interest loan that has deferred payment terms, right? The government and schools are kind of, for the greater good under that kind of guise, going to give you, based on really no credit history, a loan so that you can buy a product that theoretically will allow you to contribute to society. And it's the only kind of debt that you can get that's not forgivable ever. Like, you can file for bankruptcy and get bankruptcy protection to ruin your credit, but at least you can get creditors off your back and start over. So when you go out there and you go to a private school, whatever kind of school, you're going to wind up owing hundreds of thousands of dollars just in tuition alone. Tuition for my son's school right now is $30,000 a semester. That's what my wife and I are committed to right now. That's a lot of freaking money. I'm not sure what kind of job my son's going to be able to get with a bachelor's degree in writing that's ever going to be able to pay that down. So I want to acknowledge that part first. So I believe there are other models that exist outside of this educational industrial complex, if that's such a term, that could work really well. If we go back to ancient times, prior to formal education systems being built by the English Empire, we have apprenticeships. And if you take, like, say, if you want to be a blacksmith, there was a very specific way that you became a blacksmith. Your parents would pay a blacksmith money to have them take you on as an apprentice. And you would learn the craft from this person. And when you learned enough skill, the blacksmith would send you on your way saying, you're not a blacksmith yet. You're a journeyman, and you're going to go to the next blacksmith, and you're going to help that blacksmith out. And so that you're going to acquire skills from a couple different masters before you can hang up your shingle and join a trade and say, you know what, I'm a blacksmith now. This model works well for ancient times because there weren't that many people that wanted to learn things or had the means to. So this works perfectly. But this model can still work today with masterminds, small group coaching, and also, I guess we call them internships now. We don't use, or mentorships. We don't call them apprenticeships so much anymore. And then we can go the other side, which is if schools are essentially regurgitating information, which is what they're doing, is there a more cost-effective model that someone can get the information without paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to acquire this information? And so I think there's opportunity outside of this main sphere of formal education, mentorships, apprenticeships, and also taking the information and distilling it and giving it away at a relatively low cost that could be done at scale. Traditional schools require you to be there in person. So that already creates natural boundaries and barriers for people, right? So if I'm from another country and my parents can't afford to send me to school in America, it's not even a consideration anymore. If they can't afford the tuition fees. I'll give you an example right now. One of my cousins, I have many cousins, extremely bright guy, was given a full scholarship to go to Caltech. This is a prestigious thing, full scholarship. And his parents decided not to send him because the cost of living and being able to show up and look like everybody else was far beyond what they could grasp. So they elected not to send him to Caltech. What a disappointment, because the money in their socioeconomic standing within America was so low that they could not subject their own child to that kind of feeling like they're an outsider. So if we just change the educational model to be online and figure out how to distribute that, that means that I no longer have to travel somewhere. I don't have to wear the uniform. I don't have to look the part. I could just consume the information. So we're opening it up to a lot more people. And because it's done at scale, infinitely scalable, it's not impacted by 30 students taking the course or 3 million students taking the course, then the price can be much lower and much more equitable given the amount of information that's being transferred from one person to the next.
Thanks for watching Mark Savant Media. Here we're going to help you create a better content in less time and turn that attention into income. If you love this video, you're going to love these videos here. Click the one. Me and my team specially selected this just for you. Click the link. Check out the video. I'll catch you here next time on Mark Savant Media.